Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic. The top 10 most important Ravens for this upcoming season. Look, Sarah Ellison, who a lot of people that watch this know who it is, she came out with a list of her 10 most important Raven players for this upcoming season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the list of the top 10, and then I'm going to see if I agree with it or if I don't. It's that easy. So without further ado, we're going to get into this list and break it down. So here we go. So let's check this out. We're going to start from 10 to 1. So reading it off, top 10 most important Raven players heading into 2023. Number 10, Odell Beckham Jr. Look, and it's funny because I'm reading what she puts under each name. And under Odell, she said, I don't anticipate OBJ playing all 17 games. You heard me say that how many times? And the Ravens don't need him to. They signed him for big moments in big games. So he mainly needs to stay healthy down the stretch. He'll especially be key in January when defenses are better at forcing opponents to become one-dimensional. OBJ needs to become the reliable wide receiver weapon that Lamar Jackson has never had in the postseason. I agree with everything she stated on that because it's true. I'll say the one thing that I will push back on is that Hollywood Brown was extremely reliable in the postseason. Extremely reliable. His numbers did a big uptick when postseason came along. The problem is that nobody else was showing up. Everybody else was dropping passes. And the line were missing a lot of blocks. So that's the only pushback I would say on that. So 10, I feel that one. Number 9, David Ojabo. And I'm going to read what she says. Perhaps I'm putting too much stock in a player that is essentially a rookie, but the Ravens seem to be putting a lot of faith in Ojabo after losing 15 sacks to free agency. That is Justin Houston and Calais Campbell. He won't be the only one to make those up, but he's a big part of the formula. Ultimately, there are still plenty of pass rushers on the market, so if Ojabo doesn't develop quickly this season, there are other options. Look, we've all said this, and I've heard it from multiple people. I want Justin Houston back. He's proven that he could be a veteran, a guy that's good in spurts. He's not expensive, but he brings a level of play. And he doesn't have to be the every down guy that he was the last couple years or whatever else it is like that, or even at the beginning of his career. He can come in pass rushing situations to go get that quarterback. And he's proven that when he's doing that, he is still one of the best in the NFL. Now look, Ojabo, I'm hoping that this guy doesn't have a monumental letdown like an Owe. A lot of people are still defending Owe. Look, I hope he breaks out. I hope he becomes what everyone said he's going to become. But he is played way under the standard in which we thought he would be playing at. So we're pretty much putting all of what we thought in Owe into Ojabo. So I'm hoping the best for him. I'm not against that. I would actually have Ojabo above the next one, but I'm going to tell you what the next one is. All right? I would have Ojabo ahead of higher than number 9. But the next one is Kyle Hamilton. All right? And she says, I anticipate a breakout season from Kyle Hamilton, top 15 pick from last year. He's an athletic Swiss Army knife that Mac McDonald can have a lot of fun with. The Ravens moved on from Chuck Clark. That's the key. Moved on from him. With Hamilton now on the roster, so he's expected to start 17 games at safety. But they can use him in the nickel to rush the passer, crowd the line of scrimmage, and defend the deep middle. There's nobody like him on the roster. Do you know what they're hoping he is? They're hoping that he could be a versatile, taller, longer Troy Polamalu. That's what they're hoping. I'm hoping it too. Like, yo, could you imagine if this guy turns out to be that type of level of player? Always has a knack around the ball, making big splash plays, absolute ferocious athlete. tackling, hitting, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends. We can only wish. A wish on a star I have. But we'll see. But I would actually have that lower than Ojabo because pass rush is something that we've had problems with for years. So I'm not too worried about our secondary as much as everyone else is outside of the second cornerback. So I would have Ojabo higher than this. But I understand what she's saying about the Kyle Hamilton one. 7 is J.K. Dobbins. At 7. Wow, that's kind of high. Okay, well, we're going to read it off. Yes, Baltimore's run game is usually strong as long as Lamar Jackson is on the field, but it's nearly unstoppable with a legit game-breaking rusher by his side. Without J.K. and Gus last year, the offense struggled in short yardage situations. Dobbins will be a difference maker on third downs and in the red zone. Plus, El Toro has presumably regained the sixth gear he was missing when he returned from a cleanup knee procedure last season. He motivated in a contract year, and it will add up, and Dobbins is about to eat. I agree with everything she said there. Is he number 7? You know what? Offensively speaking, I can understand why she put him at 7 because we saw the difference of him in the lineup and out of the lineup. And even though the run game goes with whoever's next to Lamar, JK brings such a big oomph. And y'all not Jamaican. Y'all don't remember the Ovaltine commercials back in Jamaica. Ovaltine gives you oomph. You know what I'm saying? So I get why she put him at 7. I'll take that back. I get it offensively speaking. Now, number 6, the GOAT kicker, Justin Tucker. And I'm going to read it. Can you count how many times this man has bailed the Ravens out at the end of games? You darn right he has. That's why he's the GOAT. G-O-A-T. GOAT. But I'll keep reading. I can. Jesus, she's counted. She said, can you count the amount of times he's bailed the Ravens out at the end of games? I can. 19 times. He has 19 career game-winning field goals, including the playoffs. Justin Tucker has ice in his veins. He's the definition of clutch. He's also the most accurate kicker in NFL history with a 90.5% kick rating and earned his 6th Pro Bowl last season when he scored a single-season career-high 142 points. And the reason why he scored so much points is because we weren't scoring nothing at the end of the season. So we had to rely on his leg and that defense. So that number is going to come down. He ain't scoring 142 points again this year. I'll tell you that right now. But number 5, Mark Andrews. You know, Mandrews, Lamar Jackson's favorite target. Until somebody proves otherwise, Mandrews is still the most important piece in the Ravens passing game. He's Lamar's security blanket, and he's led the team in receiving yards the past 2 years with nobody coming close. I'd put him higher on the list, but the depth at the tight end makes potentially losing him more manageable. See how she said potentially losing him? Remember what I was trying to tell y'all before about because of how the Ravens do business, certain players, if they can find somebody that can replace even 80-90% of their production, they'll let go of the big money guys to bring in younger guys to have on cheaper contracts. Remember, I said that first. So potentially losing him would be more manageable because what they're looking at is Likely and Kolar, but Likely's already proven that he is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands, and he can make multiple people miss. Just saying, I love Andrews, but this is the business side of it. But we're going to keep going. Number 4, Roquan Smith. I would actually have Roquan higher on this. I'd actually have him at 3. Prior to week 9 trade for Roquan Smith, the Ravens defense ranked number 20th in points allowed per game. By the end of the season, with Roquan in the middle, it was number 3. Shout outs to him, for real. Red zone defense went from 23 to number 3. The improvement can't all be attributed to Roquan, but don't discount the impact the All-Pro has had on the players around him. He elevates everyone. Facts. I will say this, though. We did have a very, very soft schedule last year down the stretch. I'm not taking away nothing from the defense, but we weren't going against no top-level quarterbacks. And I think this year is going to be the real barometer on how well that defense can mesh. And I think they're going to do just fine. The only thing I'm worried about, like I said before, is the other cornerback. reason why I want back Marcus Peters. But whatever, let's keep going. Marlon Humphrey, number 3. Humphrey is coming off of his 3rd Pro Bowl season. His versatility, physicality, and veteran leadership can't be replicated. On top of that, the depth at cornerback is thin and filled with young, unproven players. Facts. Baltimore secondary would be in a world of hurt without Humphrey. You know what? That is very true. Extremely true. Factual on all fronts. Okay, forget it. I have him at number 3 because, outside of him, we don't know what we got. So, okay, I agree with that. Him over Roquan. I think that the Roquan being number 3 back. Oh, yeah, definitely. Number 2, Ronnie Stanley. Look, I don't even got to read it. Yes! The last 2 seasons, how did Lamar get hurt? The line not blocking. That's how. How did he get hurt in the playoffs? The line having trouble blocking. That's how. Ronnie Stanley and those guys are easily second on this list because you win the game in the trenches. Okay, now I'm going to read it. We've seen what life is like without all-pro Ronnie Stanley, and it isn't pretty. The NFL, top NFL left tackles just don't grow on trees, but it's more than just finding someone to fill in for him at the position if he were to go down. His absence sends ripple effects throughout the offensive line. That's not to mention the impact his absence would have on the Ravens' $52 million quarterback. What did I just say? The line keeps giving up big plays or big sacks on Lamar. Let's be real. They've in the playoffs, they've had a hard time showing up. So, I definitely understand that. Number 1, of course, as everyone would know that's on this list, is Lamar Jackson. And I'm going to read it and say it. The Ravens simply can't not survive without number 8. They are 3-7 without him over the last 2 years. In 2021, the team went into an absolute free fall after the MVP's ankle injury, going from the top seed in the AFC. For everybody wondering if I was lying when I said that, not the AFC North, in the AFC. Start with the healthy Lamar and with the number 3rd, AFC out of the playoffs in just 6 weeks. In 2022, the Ravens got off to an 8-4 start with a healthy Lamar and was the number 3 seed in the AFC. He injured his knee, and the Ravens went on to lose more than half of their remaining games, including getting knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. Lamar is the linchpin to the Ravens' Super Bowl hopes. This is what I've been preaching deliberately on this channel, and a lot of people have come into the comments and disagree with everything that I got to say. You were wrong. Take it. I tried to tell you. Linchpin. Lamar Jackson. That's how this works. The problem with Baltimore is that we're so used to doing it without a big-time quarterback. Because we've done it with defense, running game, special teams. That Raven fans have this notion that we could still do it without a quarterback. And I'm going to let you understand right now, it's next to near impossible to do it without a quarterback. The best team with absolute just weapons galore everywhere, up and down the roster. Offense, defense, offensive line, whatever, special teams, whatever you want to say, is the 49ers. What has held them back from winning? Do you think we'll ever have a roster like that in Baltimore? Think about it. Receiving core. The 49ers have a top 5 receiving core, top 3 tight end, top 2 running back, probably the best left tackle in all of football. What are we doing here? One of the best running games in the entire NFL. Come on, and one of the best defenses. And what's been their Achilles heel? The quarterback position. I like the list. Shout out to Sarah Ellison. She did a great job on this list. Look, it is what it is. We know who needs to show up. We know who has to be healthy. We know who has to be there. It's not just on Lamar, but Lamar is the linchpin. That's how it goes. The Colts are not winning without Peyton Manning. The Patriots are not winning without Tom Brady. The Kansas City Chiefs are not winning without Patrick Mahomes. No matter how much talent you have, it comes down to if your quarterback can make plays, timely plays, and not turn over the ball. And guess what? That's usually the elite of the elite. The elite of the elite. So I give this list a 9 out of 10. Like I said, the only one I would switch would be down at the bottom, 8 and 7. But an amazing list. Shout out to her. And what do you guys think? If you guys have a different 10, let me know down at the comment section how your top 10 Ravens for the upcoming season would level out, all right? Because I'm telling you right now, I agree with her. I agree almost 100%. I agree with her 90% on that list. Out of 10, there's only one I change. But that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. You know how we get down, we laugh, we have fun, but everything we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. You know I love the comments. Just be respectful. That's all I'm asking, and we're good. And if you would like to donate to this channel to help it grow, bottom of the screen, QR code. QR code is to a Cash App. Cash App is located in every description of every video that we do, and the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. And last but not least is the Patreon. Look, we have an amazing tier list. There's 2 more tiers coming to the tiers, and there's going to be extra access, more things available. And already the one that's already there, you get fantasy football, you get questions from subscribers, you get the access to me, Discord, the whole 9. So it's already worth it, but the other tiers are going to be worth it even crazier, especially when the regular season starts back, when sports gets back into its cycle. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. So go out there and support. I'm telling you, it's big for the channel, and it's big for you guys who love the content. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. The show is Nitro signing off, and as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.